Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new, please hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get notified every time a new video is released. If you want to check out more hood tours, visit my Philadelphia Hoods playlist with over 200 plus hood tours covering all sections of Philadelphia. All right, y'all, so today we're on Erie Ave because we're gonna be focusing on a rapper's hood. This rapper is Gillie Da Kid. Yeah, Gillie, the king of Philly. I grew up listening to Gillie. Gillie's from North Philadelphia. Erie Ave is where he reps, even though I'm sure he networks all throughout the city. And in his later career, probably in like the mid-2000s, early 2000s, mid-2000s, he got incarcerated due to a scenario that happened in the northeast of Philadelphia on Passmore Street. We're just gonna focus on Erie Ave for today. I'll briefly talk about some details on him. I don't know everything. I don't know all the facts on him. So you guys are more than welcome to comment below, share your thoughts, share your memories on the neighborhood. If you know any cool facts, if you know the brother, feel free just to share your thoughts in the comment section. I honestly don't know what block he grew up on. This gentleman is wise enough not to have that information on the World Wide Web, which is very admirable considering that nowadays, since technology is at the tip of your fingers, most new artists put where they from. They drop their coordinates on the World Wide Web. This guy did not do that. So I don't have any real facts on the block he grew up on, but I do know that he reps North Philadelphia and specifically Erie Avenue. And that's where we're at right now. Right now we're on 13th and Erie Ave. So what we'll do is we'll spend this hour zigzagging through, I would say, this 1 mile, 2 mile radius. We'll zigzag through all the blocks, coming back to Erie. We'll do that side first, and then we'll do this side. We're approaching Germantown Ave, and we're also approaching Broad Street. Broad Street's gonna be the division on what side we do first. So we're gonna do that side of Broad Street first. We'll zigzag through a couple blocks for half an hour, and then we'll zigzag through this side of Broad Street for a couple blocks for half an hour. Now, we are currently crossing Germantown Ave. Now we're crossing Broad Street. On my right-hand side used to be Black and Noble, which was a major hip-hop platform in Philadelphia. Let's make this right here on, what's this? Carlisle. I don't know how to pronunciate that. Y'all can feel free to help me. Check this out. There's a house for sale on my left-hand side. The architecture of these houses are pretty nice. Like the crown of the building, a little fancy, looks historic. The crown over the windows, each of the windows, like on my left side, have like some fancy crown stylization. They have porches and all that good stuff. In front of us, we have Butler Substation. I wouldn't know if it would be called Carlisle or Carlisle. I don't know if the S is silent. We're currently on Butler, crossing Germantown Ave. We're gonna make a right on Broad Street. On the left-hand side, we have, what's that? Jesus Christ is the Lord. Which church is this? Great Gathering of Faith and Miracles. It's a big church. Y'all see it, it looks like a castle. Like some Transylvania stuff. Any of the details that I'll talk about today pertaining to any legal troubles that this man has faced is all public record. You guys can visit Google. You guys can learn more about him. This is the 4th Philadelphia rapper hood tour that I have done. And I will continue to do about 24 more. On my left-hand side, we see this really tall building. I forgot what it was before. It was probably like some type of hotel or, I don't know. Y'all could chime in on what that is, but I know for the last 2-3 decades, probably 2 decades, it's been like a graffiti haven for explorers and people who go in and do graffiti. We're at the intersection of Germantown and Broad Street. I'm gonna beep so this driver in front of us can wake up. It's green light. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. The Free Library of Philadelphia is on my right-hand side. We got China Taste. We got Young's Market. This is like a little shopping district right here on Broad and Erie. Got Churchy's Chicken on my left. You can catch the subway right here on Broad Street. You got the H bus on my right. So Carl Isle, or Carl Izzle. I don't know how to pronunciate it. We're gonna make, we can't make this left on 15th Street. Yeah, they blocked it off with cones. So let's see, I'm gonna make a right on Sydenham. Let's make this right on Sydenham, the 3700 block of Sydenham. All right, this block looks like primarily two-story homes. See, abandoned house. We got some porch awnings. Most of the houses have porches. On the left-hand side, we got a handicap entrance, wheelchair accessible. All right, so those of you guys who don't know who Gilly the Kid is, he is a rap mogul, well-respected, well-known in the Philadelphia area. To my knowledge, I believe he's 37 years old. That will make him, what, 5 years older than me? But I'm not too sure on that, so y'all could chime in. I believe we're currently on Butler and Sydenham. We're crossing over to the 3800 block of Sydenham. I believe he was born in 1984, and if that's the case, hey Gilly, I got a car at the crib that's just the same age as you. I got a 1984, and anything over 25 years old is a classic, so that thing is a classic, son. We got some trees here, some sealed porches. Most of the porches are open, but I see 2 or 3 sealed ones, meaning they build like, it looks like they close it up to make it like a room. Like you see the one that's on my right? It's almost like a room, like an additional room. All right, so we're gonna make this left here. We just passed the grocery store. Not sure the name of the grocery, didn't really have a name. We're on 16th and Pike, we're on Pike Street. So one way. So I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go right up 16th, and then I'm gonna come back around. Let me see. Kerball Street. Let's make a right on Kerball. 1500 block of Kerball Street. Got some cobblestone on this. What is this? Like a lawn awning? You see it? Like they did some type of stonework. These houses here have little lawns, little green patches. It's got some bushes, got some old trees. Probably 80-year-old trees. Check out the deck that's on the right. What's that at the back of, what's that, a bar? Ibrahim Books. I don't know. Yeah, that's at the back of Ibrahim Books. That's a bookstore, I guess. Ibrahim Books and Gifts. All right, so we're gonna make this right here. We're on Germantown, I believe. Making this right on Germantown. Now we're gonna make a right on Pike. All right, so like I was telling you earlier, he's a hip hop figure. He's been relevant since, I would say, mid to late 90s. Probably before that, but I was a youngster around that era. All right, we're next to the 23 bus stop. Let's make this right, we're gonna go up Pike. He was one of the founding members of the North Philadelphia rap group called Major Figures. Not figures, but figures. Major Figures. And he was one of the original Major Figures. It was like a 7-person group, but they held like weight on the ground in the underground rap culture. They produced several mixtapes. They were putting out work on the street. I'm gonna let this guy go by. Yeah, and they were all from the Erie Ave section, so this is pretty much like what they repped at the time. I believe him and 2 others from the group is still relevant in today's time. We're gonna make this left on Smedgley. Turning on Smedgley. See 2-story homes, shingles, aluminum siding, porches. It looks like they have double steps. One set of steps that leads to the next set of steps. In deaf child area means travel slowly. Yeah, so they released albums and all of that stuff, and they was popping. They had their buzz. They you know, had their notoriety, and eventually they ended up being signed to Rough Nation under Warner Brothers. as major figures. And I believe that was probably like the end of 99, like end of the 90s, I should say. All right, we're gonna make this left right here. These houses on my left, they got third floor porches. Whoa, I just noticed that they got third floor porches. We're next to Brothers Grocery on 16th and Butler. Got a youngster walking around on my right hand side. He was in a t-shirt. It's actually winter now, so it's cold season. As you can see, you see some people with scullies, some people with hoodies. My guy was in a t-shirt, chilling. Look at this OG right here, chilling like a villain. He got on the big coat, the big boy. All right, we're gonna make a right down 15th Street. These are 3-story homes. These are pretty big homes. Probably not the best kept homes, but they're big structurally. And they got the fancy fronts. I say fancy because if you look at the front, I don't know if the sun, you see on my left hand side, the sun isn't doing justice. But the second and third floor, they have like an extrusion or something that sticks out, that's well designed with older, you know, architectural design. I'm sure architects can appreciate that. On the right hand side, we got 2-story homes. Left hand side looks like we got a child care center right here at the corner. Yep, Precious Babies Learning Academy Inc. We're gonna make a right back on Erie Ave. All right, we're passing side in hand. We already did that. It seems like everything's shooting us right, and I want to go left. Remember, I want to zigzag through the blocks so we can eventually come back up and around Erie. So I want to go up 16th Street here and see if we get some sort of luck coming down. Normally I'm able to go down 15th, but they had 15th closed off. Check out the houses, y'all. We got a wide variety of houses. We got small 3 stories on my left, but then we got some big 3 stories on my right. Then we got another style of 3-story on my left. You see the fronts of the ones on my left? They stylized them different. Yeah, so I think he did some, you know, time with major figures, but then he eventually went on a solo career. He eventually branched off on his own. And one time when he went to a concert, this is documented that he was at a concert and backstage he met Birdman, which is, I believe, one of the founders or CEO. I'm not too sure, but Birdman is one of the major heads in Cash Money Records. And they met, they crossed paths, and within a week, he was signed to Cash Money. Within a week. And if you guys know, especially if you're from the era of, you know, when Cash Money was popping, when Cash Money, you know, was a force to be reckoned with in the early 2000s, you know the type of noise that they made. So to get signed to Cash Money, that was a good move on his behalf. We're passing Kerbal Street. That's the street that we went down. We're gonna keep on going straight and just make a left on Luzerne. Make a left right here. 1600 block of Luzerne. We're on 16th and Luzerne. We have Germantown Ave on my right. All right. Nazarene Baptist Church on my right, also my far right. You guys wouldn't be able to see it. Let this traffic go by. So when he signed the Cash Money, I don't know how he was able to make this work out, but it was said that he owned his publishing rights. Yeah, he owned his publishing rights, which, you know, to my knowledge, that's a blessing. To own any rights to your music, like, that's a hard thing to do. So he must have did some good negotiating. We're on the 3900 block of Smedley. We just made a left down Smedley. I believe we went down the other half of Smedley, so for the purpose of this tour, I'm gonna make a right at the corner so we don't continue going down the same block. Check out the sidewalks. You see how the owners around here, they placed like flower pots and they look like cinder block flower pots. They look like brick style flower pots. Some of them are glass style, some of them are plastic. But the first bunch that I passed, they looked like bricks. or not bricks, like a cinder block, but it was a flower pot. Look at on my left, you see? They also put that there too so people don't park on the sidewalk. As you can see, it's one-sided parking only. I'm gonna make a right here. I'm going this way. I think the buddy thinks that I wanted to cross. We got Head Hideaway Barbershop on my right-hand side. We got Looking Good Beauty Style Salon. Yeah, Beauty Salon. So we're gonna make a left right here. We're on a 17th and Pike. We got a school on my right-hand side. I'll go by that a little bit later. So we're gonna go down 17th Street. This appears to be a two-way street. Looks like it. Cars are parked both ways. And it's wide enough, so I see that as being possible. Drive carefully, speed limit is 25 miles per hour. A lot of big trees on this block. We already discussed how the big trees can sometimes be detrimental to the foundation. They'll grow straight through your basement wall and mess up your plumbing and everything. We're on 17th and Butler. 17th and Butler. We're now approaching 17th and Pulaski Ave. I'm gonna keep going down 17th. Because we can't go left, we can't go up Pulaski because it's a one-way. See how people park on the sidewalk? You see it? Sometimes you gotta do that so people don't hit your car, because in the middle of the night, you'll come out, you'll find out your whole car was side swiped. So you'll notice some cars are parked further in than others because they're not trying to get hit. And I understand that. It happens a lot. It happens more than you guys think. Somebody steals a car and then they go on a joyride, they smash up several cars and they'll just dump the car somewhere, get out and just walk off. Sometimes it'd be their own vehicle. They'd be drunk coming from the bar or going through an argument or whatever, and boom, they tap your whip. So we're on 17th and Erie. 17th and Erie. We have the 2 bus stop next to us, and we also got the 56 bus stop next to us. I'm gonna make this left down Victoria Street. I'll check out this classic on my left. 350. I see you. Thing had a 350 in it. Alright, so this is a little teeny block for sale on my right hand side. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Hey yo, they got Roach in their realty company name. Roach, yo, what's up, dog? My business called Roach. That's crazy. Couple abandoned houses. Look at this garage in front of us. It doesn't look bad. It's on Victoria Street. Doesn't look bad at all. See it in front of us? We got a single floor garage and we got a 2-story garage, and they're both next to each other. They look like they were the same business. Closed down. This looks abandoned though. Well, like it could be, unless somebody living in it. I doubt it though. We're now approaching the 3500 block of Smedley. So anyway, remember earlier I was talking about him owning the publishing rights could have been a blessing, but it was, I guess, also a curse in disguise, because eventually he left the label because I guess they weren't pushing him the same way. I don't know what's the story behind it. Only he would know, like what's the real details. But I don't think they were pushing him the same way. Look, I'm gonna make a left here because I wanted to go down 15th Street so at least y'all could see a little bit of 15th Street. The first block of 15th Street we got cut off, but maybe I can go down another block or so and get right back on 15th. Y'all yawn. If y'all yawn too, let me know what's up. We're on Tioga and 16th. We got some abandoned houses on my right. Pretty big houses. This neighborhood is filled with pretty large homes, but I don't know if that has anything to do with this being like the hospital district. Most of these homes were built in what, the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s probably. And with that being said, they were really huge at the time, but they're old, so a lot of them are falling apart. This is like Temple area now. Temple University and Temple Hospital own a lot of real estate around here, like on the main street, on Broad Street. That's like prime real estate. Name that school that's on my right hand side. Y'all name it for me. Yeah, so since they wasn't pushing him, he ended up releasing several full-length, mixtapes and projects on his own on the Dolo tip. Dolo meaning he was doing it by itself, like solo grind. All right, 15th in Ontario. We're gonna make a right on Ontario, just cause. A lot of these empty lots y'all see, there was once homes there. One thing or another led to them either being burned down, them being abandoned, them probably being shooting galleries back in the day. Shooting gallery is an abandoned building where people, shoot up. Substance abuse takes place. And I know there was a coalition probably in the early 90s, late 90s, that was formed. And in the new millennium, they, try to get rid of a lot of the riffraff, meaning knocking down homes. Investors came in, bought the home, knocked it down, or just left it empty lots. And the city of Philadelphia took over a lot of these lots. We're gonna make a right on 16th. We're on 16th in Ontario. These little teeny homes on my left-hand side. So around the time that he was signed and all of that stuff, and he was messing with Birdman, I believe that was like, I don't know the exact date, but it was probably like 2004, 2005, something of that nature. We're now approaching Tioga and 16th. It looks like on the left-hand side, that building is huge. It was probably an apartment. It had to be an apartment. You see the way the podiums hold the porches up, and on the right hand side we got the Tioga Presbyterian Apartments, Philadelphia Senior Center, Tioga branch. There's the senior center on my right. Some of these houses on my left look rehabilitated and well kept. I don't know if that's Section 8 or if it's just private investors. Which says God's Church of Apostles Doctrine. Yeah, God's Church of the Apostles Doctrine. That's the correct title for it. On the 16th in Venango. These buildings right here look pretty crispy. The ones on the left, they were probably made, like 20 years ago? I don't know, y'all can tell me that. I know they're not the same style as the 1900s homes. Brick pointing is pretty fresh. Look at these houses on my right, look at the ones on my left. See how they mismatched the blocks? In the block, there's like several styles of houses. These big empty lots, for example, the one on my right, I'm sure there used to be a building here at one point or another. All right, so we already went up 16th Street. We're gonna make a left on Erie and see if we can zigzag through. So around that time, I believe it was 2006, he ended up getting thrown into the national spotlight. And you know why? Because it was said that he ghost wrote rhymes for Lil Wayne. Now, if you from that era, and I know I'm from that era, I'm a late 80s baby. So I'm gonna make a left right here on Erie. Lil Wayne had a little buzz. He had some buzz. He had the machine behind him. He was doing his thing with Cash Money. Smedley. Did I go down Smedley? No, I didn't go down this block of Smedley. Or did I? I think I did. Yo, anyway, it's cool. I'm gonna make a right at the corner and just zigzag. Yeah, so he ended up getting thrown into the national spotlight because Weezy had, Weezy basically, I'm trying to figure out, should I make a right? Yeah, right here. I'm gonna make this right here so y'all can see something different. Weezy was working on like being global or being nationwide, and at that time, I don't know if Mr. Gilly was a countrywide name yet, like a countrywide household name, but I know at the time Weezy was embarking on that countrywide, almost global platform. All right, so we're on 17th and Venango. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna allow this dairy wholesale distributor to go by me. I'm gonna make this left-hand turn right here. We got Celestial Zion Baptist Church on my right. Ethel Boyd Williams, pastor and founder. Check out this building on my right. Yo, this thing looks classic. Well, yo, what's that, a theater, y'all? Somebody gotta know what that was. Yo, that building looked crazy. Passing Atlantic, 17th Street Deli. We're next to Primo's Grocery. Steak Galore. That's what it says up top. BNS Steak Galore. That's probably like an original sign. The new owners didn't remove it. For rent, Tioga Luxury Apartments Studio. $900 and up. Bedrooms. $1,200 and up. Wow, they charging an arm and a leg to live in this hood. Hero. Community Center. Commercial real estate opportunities for rent. So a lot of these buildings, the ones that are in poor shape, they're up for sale, you know? They're up for sale and investors are snagging them quick. 17th and Ontario. We're passing Ontario Street. Currently driving down 17th Street. So when he got thrown into the national spotlight for writing Weezy's bars, you know, as a rapper, you're not supposed to have nobody write your bars for you, even though still to this day, there's probably rappers that are still getting rhymes ghostwritten for them. We're gonna make this right. I believe we're on Westmoreland. Yeah, so you're supposed to write your own bars. You're not supposed to have nobody writing for you. But I remember at that time, I believe I was in high school, and that was also around the time when I got like put on to the. We're gonna make a write down Bouvier. I got put on to the flow that Weezy was using because I remember watching videos of Weezy's flow and then watching videos of Gilly's flow. Like when Weezy started becoming hot, not for nothing, it was when he had that Philly flow. Now it's still rumored, but I don't think my man Gilly gonna make up bars just to sound exactly like Wayne. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like Gilly had like the crazy flow. Gilly got bars. Gilly bars meaning he got skills. For my older viewers, because I do have older viewers in there, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, potentially 80s that watch my channel. So if you guys happen to catch this here and there, I'll throw some slang and some street lingo, but I'll try to break it down for you so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so bars meaning that Gillie the Kid was talented in the hip hop culture. So for him, for somebody from Philadelphia to be writing from somebody, where was Weezy from? From New Orleans, from down south? I don't really know, to be honest. 18th and Ontario. Let's make this left. That 18th Street. We're on Ontario. These houses are big, yo. Real big houses. Look at them. Somebody's double parked here. That's the story of my life today. There's like 2 or 3 blocks that I wanted to go through, but everybody's double parked. So now I gotta bust a reverse, crisscross. I gotta hit him with the Uno reversies. We got a rest in peace memorial on my right hand side in loving memory of Tarif, what's it say? Richie Wooden? I think it says Richie. Can't see, it's kind of really small print. Rest in peace, sir. Look at these houses on my right. They're kind of big, yo. They're not really that good kept, like kind of like falling apart almost in a sense. But they have so much potential. If you buy one and you invest a good amount of money into rehabilitating it. Like look at this building on the corner of Gratz, 3300 Gratz. Look at this building. It's a big chunk of brick. It's a big row home compared to many other row homes. There's 2 houses for sale on my right. 1 for sale. 2 for sale. Wow. 3 for sale. There's 3 of them for sale that all seem to be lived in. 3350, 3348, and 3312 are all for sale. And we have another handicap ramp. One of the handicap lifts. And there's a dirt bike sitting out there. There's a WR made by Yamaha, 4-stroke. I believe that's like a beginner bike. It looked like an enduro bike. Alright, we back on Westmoreland. I think we're on Westmoreland and Gratz with it. So we're gonna make this right on Westmoreland. 13-foot 7-inch clearance. If you're taller than that, you shouldn't be going under here. I think this is the Amtrak that runs above us. We're on 19th and Westmoreland. We're gonna make this right on the 19th. Got this RV, this busted up RV sitting next to us. You see it? It's on the sidewalk. Wow. They're doing some cleaning out all over there. They threw a mattress on the side. See, people usually dump on areas like this because they think since nobody really resides here, or there's very little blocks, and it's quote unquote like the hood part of town, dumpers from outside of the neighborhood come here to dump, which is messed up, because then it leaves the neighborhood looking like crap. All right, Ontario Street. No, I don't think we was on. Yeah, we definitely was on Westmoreland, because right after should be Ontario. On the left hand side, as you can see, we got some pretty good looking cobblestone style buildings, or whatever stone that is. It looks like we have investors though coming in, rehabilitating their communities. A lot of trash everywhere. Giant just bags full of trash. We're approaching Tioga, 19th and Tioga. So that was big. That was big for like the rap world, and it was big for me, because like I'm the type of person that, this is how I looked at it growing up. If anybody came from Philly and blew up and did good, I felt like I was winning. You know how some people feel with sports? They feel like if the Eagles win, or if your favorite team, the Chicago Bulls, or whatever your team is, wins. I've never been big on sports. We're passing Atlantic Street. I've never been like a big sports enthusiast. I don't care for sports. However, I always like seeing people from my city win. So when big names like that was on the spotlight, I felt like, yeah, boy, like that's hot, because I used to listen to Weezy. I ain't even gonna fraud. Weezy is Lil Wayne's short. Like that's one of his nicknames, because he had like several nicknames. But yeah, so that was the climax for me, and like in my younger years. Let me let this dude. Nah, I can't let him reverse, because he's gonna reverse right into us. So I gotta go around him. Check out these dudes. Look, they look like they're in hazmat suits, but they're like working suits. I guess they inside the building. They look like minions. Minions with white suits. Yo, the minion on my left too. They got the suits, I guess, so they don't get dust and asbestos and anything on them. We're passing Erie Avenue, going up 19th Street. We got the school on my right. Y'all can name the school. I like the videos to be interactive, so if you want to, like I said, share your knowledge, share your memories, I'll give it to y'all. Grover Cleveland. Made in 1966. But if y'all want to share some stories, feel free. We're driving past Cary Street. I could have went up Cary, but let's keep going. We're now at 19th and Butler. I'm gonna go up another block. Yeah, so that was like a crazy part, you know, in my eyes, because at that time it wasn't all over the spotlight for people to be writing other people's rhymes, and at that it came from Philly, so I was like hype. Mind you, I was probably 16, 17 at the time, give or take, I don't know. But shortly after that buzz, he ended up signing, I think in 07, he signed to another indie label. I believe they were called Baby Grande. What a name, right? Baby Grande. But right now we're on 19th. I think we're on 19th and what's this, Hunting Park? This might be Hunting Park. So we got Little Village Learning Academy in front of us. We got Love's Cafe. We're next to Priscilla Street. Roy's Lounge and Seafood. I'm gonna go straight. I could have made it right here, but I'm gonna go straight so y'all can see the school building in case any of y'all have memories here on the school. Passing Speedway on my left hand side. We got Clarissa Street on my left and 18th Street on my right. This is Hunting Park Ave. We got a couple school buildings right there in front of us. So he signed that deal with Baby Grande in 07. Shortly after, I believe he was working on an album that he was supposed to release soon after signing with that label. And this is where like his legal situation came into play. This is all public record, and I believe the case is closed. It happened on February 7th. On February 7th, we're now making it right down 18th Street. What's the name of that school, y'all? The school that's on my left. What's the name of it? So on February 7th, police searched 2 houses on Passmore Street in Philadelphia, near Algon Ave. Now that's northeast, to my knowledge. Y'all can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? I'm trying to figure out where do I want to go. I got so many options and choices. I could have went up Pike, but I would have probably ran into the same spot. I think I'm gonna start working my way to the other half. It's sad that the 15th Street was closed because I think 15th Street kind of took away some of the viewing. Like, y'all would have saw a little bit more, but they're doing work throughout the neighborhood. We got New Greater Straightway Baptist Church on my right. I think I could go down Pulaski. Nah, I'm gonna stay straight. I'm gonna stay straight because that's gonna take me straight to Broad Street. Yeah, so February 7th, he ended up getting arrested because the police searched 2 of the houses on Passmore. One near Tioga Ave, where they found more than 89 pounds of marijuana. Yeah, y'all, 89 pounds of weed. All right, let us go. Let's go straight. Let's go straight. Yeah, they snagged them. They found 89 pounds of marijuana, and it had the street value at the time of over $400,000, just about $500,000 almost. So we're gonna make this left on Erie Ave. Let's make this left on Erie Ave. There's more area that we didn't cover over here, but for the duration of this video, I'm gonna try to at least take you guys. Did I take y'all through Bouvier? I don't think I took y'all through Bouvier, did I? I don't recall saying Bouvier. We got the number 2 bus passing us. I'm gonna make a left right here on Bouvier, 3700 block of Bouvier, and then we'll work our way over to the right. That was around the Oxford Circle area in the Northeast. That's where that happened. So I don't know if that's around the time he got some money and he moved out the hood. And back in the day, I can assume that the Northeast was considered a lot better than living around here. You know what I mean? Northeast had, you know, a much quieter atmosphere and better kept homes. So I don't know if maybe he got the bag and he still wanted to stay in Philly and he just decided to cop a crib in the Northeast or cop a couple cribs. I don't know if it was his trap cribs. I don't know if they was like his living residence. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna make this right. All right, I'm gonna cautiously take that yellow. We're on 17th and Butler. Crossing over 17th. Yeah, so after he got booked, they also got supposedly, like, I don't know if it's an associate, if it was a friend, if it was him, but they also got a vehicle, at the time a luxury vehicle, I think it was a Lexus, and they also found 4 pounds in the trunk of the vehicle. In the vehicular device, they found 4 more pounds of weed. So 10 days later, we're passing Butler, 16th from Butler. So 10 days later, he was released from prison, or released from holding. I don't know if they took him to prison. Yeah, I think after 24 hours, right? Or after 48 hours, what is it? If you don't make bail, or if you don't get bailed out, then they give you the ride up to the prison. 15th from Butler. All right, we're gonna cross over. Yeah, so 10 days later, he was released. We're gonna be crossing over, just so y'all can see some of the other side of Erie Ave. We're crossing Germantown. We got a beef, pork, chicken, Mr. C World Famous lunch truck. Now remember I was telling you that around that time he was preparing to release a mixtape, I guess under Baby Grande or something, I'm not sure, but he was basically gonna release a mixtape on March 13th. Now, around that time, he was also being investigated for $6 million in cocaine that was confiscated in another house in the area. That was near Levick, near Trotter Street, like Northeast. Once again, it seems like all his trap houses was in the Northeast. We're passing out abandoned Checkers. We got some teddy bears here on my right. I don't know if that signifies somebody passed away there. We're passing the 3700 block of Watts. We're next to Park Ave and Butler Street. I'm gonna make a right on Park Ave. We got a lot of dumping right here on my right. A lot of trash. Empty lots. Some 2-story homes, big old trees. Passing Erie Street, the 1300 block of Erie. On my right hand side, we have, go ahead, I'm gonna let these 2 gentlemen cross. We have the cheesesteak spot with Kevin Hart painted on the side of the building. I'm gonna make a left right here on Erie. This is Erie Ave. We basically crossed over Broad Street, so now we're on the first half of Erie Ave that we were at. Passing Elder Street. I'm gonna make a left right here on 13th and Erie. I actually shot a music video here for a client right here on 13th Street. Driving up 13th Street right now. We'll be passing Erie Street, 1200 block of Erie on my right hand side. Yeah, so they ended up investigating him for the $6 million of coke that was taken from one of the houses. Supposedly the feds were tipped off, which led the feds to begin watching him doing hours and hours of investigations, and they did a sting operation, I guess. We're on 13th and Butler. I'm gonna go up one more block. We got a bunch of We Buy Houses signs, and then we also got a For Sale by Owner sign. So we got people ready to sell, and we got people ready to buy in this neighborhood. We got an Amazon truck in the middle. The Amazon truck is probably delivering a package. He had the largest parking of a lifetime though, on my left hand and my right side. He had plenty of parking. But hopefully this is a quick boom bap, in and out. So they were doing hours and hours of surveillance, which ended in a sting operation, y'all, and they ended up snagging him. And to my knowledge, he maintained his innocence throughout the whole court process and was cleared of all charges in 2007. Wow, that's vicious, right? Like, he must have had one heck of a lawyer, or not a nice hefty bag, to battle his way through that court case. Because somebody like me would have been hemmed up forever. Yeah, that's crazy. At least he lived to tell about the story. All right, so we got Pike next to us. Man, there's mad trash on that block. I'm gonna go down it just so y'all can see it. It's actually a one-way, but I'm gonna do this for y'all, so y'all can see the mess over her. Look at this mess on my left. Yo, somebody behind me went left too. No, they actually went right, cause I made it right. I guess they probably figured that it was legal to do, but no, now I'm trend setting. Now I'm making everybody break the law. Yo, that's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna make this right here. I actually would love to just bust a U-turn. If this lady wasn't behind me, I would have busted a U-turn, but she being a follower. And she got a handicap placard. She got a handicap placard. That's vicious, right? All right, so I'm gonna pull over here and I'm gonna bust a U-turn and go right back down that block. There's a lot of trash right here. It says no dumping, $300 fine, but there's plenty of dumping in this area. And I see that you guys, even though you guys hate trash in the neighborhood, you guys love talking about the trash. So let me give y'all some trash to look at. Look at a bed, a mattress, TVs, bottles, all types of nonsense. We Buy Houses. Boom. You see more signs. We Buy Houses. Now we're gonna make a left down Pike Street, 1200 West Pike. You got that little bridge right there, and a little overpassing. I guess that has a train that runs under it. But check out this block. Look how much dumping is done here. You literally have to drive around piles of trash. Look at, no dumping, max fine, $5,000, and forfeiture of vehicle. What? So that means if they catch you dumping, they're gonna fine you 5 stacks, $5,000 US, and they're gonna take your vehicle. Meaning they're gonna confiscate it. So if you came in a brand new truck, they're gonna take that off you. Look at, you think anybody cares? Look at, there's trash everywhere. That means nobody cares about that sign. Like, that sign must not be big enough, bright enough, must not be intimidating enough, because they are dumping here like there's no tomorrow. All right, on my right, it's a no outlet, so we're not gonna go up there. We got Rodriguez Pike grocery store on my left-hand side. So my guy maintained his innocence, made it out of that squabble, and continued being a rap figure in the Philadelphia rap community. Look up top, y'all see them shoes? The shoes hanging is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of shoes. I read somewhere once, yo, I don't know where to get this information from, but I read somewhere once that people throw their shoes up there for gang affiliation or something like that. No, it ain't got nothing to do with gangs. At least to my knowledge, on my block, when they used to throw shoes up, it was cool. It was like, you from the block, you know, you take an old pair of shoes, you have dozens of shoes, you might throw your worst pair up. Some people threw nice looking pairs up. You might sign it or something, and boom. You know, a couple years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever, you come back to the block and your shoes are still hanging there. That's like, it's almost like tagging up. It's almost like leaving your mark. I don't know where that shoe thing originated from, if there might be some historical history behind why people threw their shoes up. Yo, we're passing Salem Church on my left-hand side. Yeah, so I don't know why people actually threw the shoes up, why it started. But from my generation, my era, why my homies threw their shoe up wasn't because it was any gang affiliation. It was because, like, you know, just a way to, like, leave a piece of yourself on the block. So he went through mad years of, you know, intertwining in the Philadelphia rap culture. He's well-respected, well-known. A lot of rappers know him. A lot of public figures in Philly know him or know of him. Even though he himself, for the most part, he was signed on a few occasions, but it's almost like he always stood independent. He stood underground. He stood dolo. He didn't really move with the machine like most do. All right, come on, triple OG. You got some older gentleman right here working on a vehicle. Guess he's a mechanic. Gotta make that money. Gotta respect the hustle, man. And he's an older dude. Looked like he was probably, you know, 50s, 60s. But he was out there putting in that work. So fast forward into the era of technology, social networking, Instagram, Facebook, and all them platforms, Twitter. Gilly maintained his recognition, maintained his respect. And before I get into the next subject, let's see, we're on Dell Street, so I gotta wait till these people in front of us. It seems like they're very confused. They looking left, they looking right. I don't know if they're arguing. I don't know what's the case. Well, he was holding us back. All right, so I'm gonna make this left here. We're back on Broad Street. I'm gonna work my way back in. I'm probably can't go up Pike, because that's a one-way street, right? We got AutoZone on my right, Poppin' Sons Auto Repair on my left, Broad Street Auto Repair on my left, Baptist Church on my left, Child Care Center on my left. Let's go to McFerrin Street. We're gonna make a left right here on McFerrin, 1300 block of McFerrin. For those of you guys who don't know, Broad Street is literally made on 14th Street. Because on my left we got 13th Street, on my right we got 15th Street. But we don't have a 14th Street in Philadelphia. Broad Street is made on where 14th Street would have been at. So that's a cool fact for those of y'all that don't really know that. I don't know how many people paid attention to that, but yeah. We passing a cat. Tag, C-A-T, cat. The OG. St. John Free Will Baptist Church on my left on Baker's Lane. We're passing Dell Street. There's a no outlet in front of us, so we're gonna make a right down Park Ave. Salem Church on my left was made in 1952. Whoa, a lot of traffic. This dude left his vehicle right in the middle of the street. Straight up, left the vehicle directly in the center of the street and turned it off. There's nobody in it. And it's in the middle. It ain't even like more to the right side or more to the left so vehicles can pass. They left it in the middle of the street, turned it off and went in. Like this vehicle in front of us, you see how this vehicle in front of us? It looks like a Honda CR-V. They double parked, but they got the flashers on and they're on one side of the street. No, that little blue Nissan was left right in the middle of the street. You see how this one right here is more to the one side, you know, to allow people to pass? I just passed some Mississippi tags. Oh, shout out to Mississippi. Y'all be surprised how many tags I'll be seeing in Philly. I swear I damn near seen all 50 states. Whatever's connected to the USA, I think I've done seen them all. Like I seen Alaska, I seen all types of stuff here in Philly. Makes me wonder. So around the time when technology, you know, started becoming of mass appeal, he maintained his name. And not only did he maintain his name, but he had a family member that was also part of major figures. Remember earlier in the story I said that there is two other individuals who weren't major figures, but they're still relevant in today's time. Yeah, so okay, let me see. Go straight, go right, go straight. I'm gonna go straight. I'm trying to be sure on where I go here because there's a lot of no outlets. Like on my left, there's no outlets. So now we're passing Kamak Street. I could have went up Kamak, but it's cool. So around the time of technology, I think it was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, his cousin that now goes by the name Wallo267. I don't know what his name was in the rap group Major Figures, but Wallo267 was also in the rap group Major Figures. Now, to my knowledge, Wallo got hemmed up. He was incarcerated for 20 years for something pertaining to a strong arm robbery. We're passing Erie Street. Yeah, so I believe that that young brother spent 20 years in prison while, you know, Gilly was out here on the streets still making moves. Wallo was in prison. Now, Wallo came out, I don't know, I think 2, maybe 3 years ago. He came out. We're passing Erie Avenue. We're in North Philadelphia. So I think he came out of prison like, you know, 2-3 years ago. And when he came out, he started motivating the youth, started sharing his story, started being a leader and a role model, trying to like allow the youth to learn from his mistakes or just let people in general. He was trying to wake up the masses, which is very respectable and hard to do nowadays. But Wallo267 was putting all his effort into sharing his story, becoming, you know, a recent modern public figure. We're passing Venango. We're gonna make a right on Venango. Yeah, so that was Gilly's cousin. Now, when he came out, I didn't even know that was Gil's cousin. I mean, I kind of had a sense that he had some relation or some relationship with him because of the fact that, what's up with this lady right here? Yeah, because the fact that every time you've seen Gilly, you always seen Wallo, or vice versa. So we're passing Kamak Street. I don't know if she was putting holy water in the ground or what she was doing, but she was up to something. We just passed Kamak Street. Yeah, because there was a house on my right hand side with a bunch of religious memorabilia, religious stuff. Paraphernalia. Let's make this right here. What's this, 13th Street? Yeah, let's make this little right here. Yeah, so Wallo ended up coming out, preaching his story, and he also gained a great amount of buzz. He created so much buzz and positive influence on his brand that he was able to lock sponsorships with, I believe, like Puma, I think Reeboks, and or maybe several other, you know, big known brands. He was able to lock sponsorship deals with them. Mind you, we're on Erie Avenue again. This is a gentleman that just came from doing 20 years. Now he back on the streets. He went away before technology was around. He came back out. Now there's technology everywhere, and he used technology as a tool to help him win. And he began winning. And with the help of his cousin Gilly, who also had respect and had, you know, a name in the streets, they basically grew and grew and grew up until today. You guys will, if you want to check out YouTube, you'll notice that both Gilly and Mr. Wallo have a podcast, a very successful podcast where they spit game. For those of the older citizens that are watching, game is like knowledge. So when somebody from the streets or from urban environment says, yo man, kick that game, bro, or like spit some game, or like, damn, he was giving you mad game, that means he was giving you mad knowledge. Like he was giving you mad experience from, you know, learning from going through it. We're passing a park. What's the name of this park, y'all? So all the residents around here, my bad. Like I'm in the middle of telling a story, but I'm also still trying to conduct my hood tour. Right next to me, we have Lillian Gibson Margaret Hargrave Memorial Headline Garden. They did a really nice mosaic with I don't know, some type of artistic type glass fragments and stuff, and they glued it on the building. Did a nice painting. They got a house for sale on my left hand side. Yeah, so Mr. Gilly and Mr. Wallo are basically really successful YouTubers in the sense where they get a good amount of retention, a good amount of views. You know, they got the street support. They got, you know, several, you know, industry, underground industry artists support. So, you know, they're able to now speak on the platform YouTube, and I believe they still on Instagram and all that. I haven't been on Instagram forever, so I don't really know. But they're able to share their life experiences and kick game to the youngsters. We're on 11th and Tioga. I'm gonna make a left on 11th Street, passing the 11th Tioga Mini Market. Rest in peace to the homie Alex. I had a homie on my right hand side that lived here. They also shot a music video on this block, Pulaski, back in the early 2000s, I think like 2001. A couple burned houses on my left. You see? It's like 2 or 3 burned houses. Now, what would happen with those is they'll stay abandoned for a couple years. If the owners fix them, then good, they'll fix them. We got Stop One Shop on my right on the 1000 block of Venango. And if they don't fix them, they'll either get sold off, they'll end up having back taxes, and then the city will take over them. Once the city takes over, the city's gonna crush them, demolish them, and then they'll end up selling the property, and or an investor will come in, fix the property, and boom. It'll be like there was nothing ever, you know, wrong with the slot that's there. Let's make this right on Pacific Street. We're now approaching Warnock. We're on Pacific, approaching Warnock. But yeah, so they ended up creating a podcast. You guys can check it out on YouTube. You know, you can check out their influence, the influence that they have on the hip hop culture, which is a large one. That's another reason why I do these Philadelphia hood tours, because not only does it correspond with my travel niche, doing hood tours, but like I told you guys, I'm from Philly, and I know a lot of, I still reside in the heart of Philly, in North Philly, you know what I mean? Born and raised. And I know I was fortunate enough to live within the vicinity. Just alone where I live at, within a 5-mile radius, there's like 15, 20 rappers that came from the same type of environment that I came from. So I always think it's cool to show the fans of these artists, or the supporters of these artists, the neighborhood that he or she may have potentially grew up in, and what shaped their favorite artists. Because a lot of times the people don't know the type of neighborhood that the people grew up in. Now, I'm sure back in the 90s when Gilly was growing up, these streets were probably a lot different than they are now. You know, I'm sure things cleaned up a bit. But with that being said, what's up with this mail postal carrier? They dropped off some mail, and then the dude came out, and now he wants to talk to her. Anyway, yeah, so I think it's cool. Oh, there's a package. All right. So he got lucky. So he caught it just in time, because if not, she was gonna be out. It's cool. At least she ain't leaving it on the porch, because sometimes they be leaving them on the porch, or they be leaving them on the steps. And nowadays we got porch pirates. Porch pirate basically means your package gonna get took. Some random person gonna drive by, see a free package on the sidewalk, think it's something electronical, find out, you know, it's just pads or something stupid, and they're gonna take it. And boom, you lost your package. Look at this, people flying. You end up losing your package. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing that they don't leave it right on the steps. That was a good move on her behalf. Don't you hate it when you waiting for a package, you wait all day, you don't hear no knock or nothing, and you find out at the end of the day, attempted delivery, but you be like, no, but I was here all day and ain't nobody knock on the door. Yo, that get me heated. I be like, yo, what y'all lying for? Y'all trying to keep my package, son. But yeah, so I think, you know, not that any of these artists need the exposure, not that they need any more exposure, but, you know, if I have some people that are watching my channel that may not know who they are, you know, I got people watching me from Sweden, from Poland, from Ireland, from different places around the world, the Netherlands, from the UK, from a lot of different places, even Germany and stuff. I got people watching me from all over. So if my little small audience can get exposed to these artists, whether they like their music or not, they can go listen to them, give them a couple of views, couple clicks, they can learn about them. And if they like them, they continue learning about them. If they don't, you know, really like them, then hey, you know, it's the thought that counts, you know. And I think it's cool, because you'd be surprised, like, you know, there's rappers that grew up in the Northeast, and then there's rappers that grew up in North Philly, and then there's rappers that grew up in West Philly, and then there's rappers that grew up in South Philly. All of those environments are different. They're all Philly, but they're all very different environments in their own way. I'm not downplaying one more than the other, but I'm just saying they're all different environments. So I'll allow you guys, the viewers, to check out the environments and, you know, put your two cents in. I don't know it all. I don't have all the knowledge in the world. I don't claim to be Google or Siri. That's why I said you guys are more than welcome to share knowledge, share tips. Let's make a right here on Percy, or a Venango on Percy. Unfortunately, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to take you to his actual block that he grew up on. I don't know the block that he grew up on. I would have loved to go to the block that he grew up on, but unfortunately, I don't know it. If you guys know it, drop it in the comments. I'm not gonna be making another episode going through his block, but at least for his fans, they can get an idea. And you can always use like Google Maps or Google Street View to take a tour of the neighborhood through still images, if that makes any sense. But I think that will conclude today's small tour of the rapper Gillie the Kid, aka Gilly the King of Philly. That will conclude the tour. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get notified when another video is released. If you want to check out more Philadelphia Hood tours, visit my Philadelphia Hoods playlist covering all sections of Philadelphia, PA. Stay tuned for more future hood tours and tours in and outside of the Pennsylvania area. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Tune, tuning out.